Okay, just 1 second, and is that a good place to start, Jeff?
Yes, it is. You're up in the air.
Yeah. And just 1 second. And go ahead, Kyle. Good?
Good. Look good.
And now we're going to come down there. And Kyle, can you take that back a little bit? And I'm going to get a tighter shot of you doing that.
Any damage?
No.
Let's get your water.
Yes, that's good. Which one's mine?
On the right. On the left. I'm also watching it on a color television.
Stand by and go ahead. Should have got more of his face. Let me try his face.
Try again.
Yeah, let's try that time.
But I can use both, you know.
Yep.
That first part was good too, but now let's do a little bit more where we see you looking down.
Stand by, Kyle, and go ahead. Perfect.
Nice. Good.
And I'm going to take a tight shot of that.
Of the prototype with markings.
Markings. And actually, just give me the last few inches. You don't have to move it back very far. I'll just get the last few inches there.
Maybe one more.
And just pull it back just a few inches and go ahead. Oh, sorry, I messed it up. I got a shadow in there. One more time. And go ahead. Just straighten it up so it's right on perfectly. Perfect. That was it.
Great. Okay. Now you want to do a wide of one of the other ones?
We could do one more if you want, of this whole column thing idea, or we can go into turning on a fan. Just how much time do you need?
Let's do one more into position, but
Okay,
just
let's
from the
do this
wide.
one here. Okay.
So you're going to go back up high? Or you're
Why
gonna
don't we
do
take
that?
it from a different angle from here?
Okay, good. So we're doing the same thing over here, but this one's just going to be a much quicker one. Not all the details.
I don't know.
Up here was
We're gonna be-
Australia.
Yeah.
Just I'll give you s-
Are you okay with your water bottle there, Kyle?
Yes.
Okay.
And go ahead, Kyle. Good.
Good.
We're good.
Yep.
And I'll just
Now switching them all on.
I'll just take a shot of this in case you need it. And just take that back an inch or two and position it back in, and try to move it around until you get it perfect. Okay, go ahead. Bring the back of it around so it's straight with the 60 degrees. Perfect. You got
Good.
it.
Okay.
And we have to change tape.
Okay.
From our last shoot, we used to use the tape.
Give this 1 second. Oh, this column beside you. Because that one's only goes on when you plug it in the receptacle.
Oh, what I'll do is I'll get his finger to turn it on.
But we don't need to see him turning on all 9 anyway.
No, all we need is, I think, the first one.
Yeah.
And then we just see the other ones bang,
On.
bang, bang.
Right. So, we want to turn these off by the switch, right?
Turn those on by.
So we don't want him to push the power button. We want him to actually turn on the.
The individual ones or the power button?
No, the power bar is fine. Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll come around and I'll see, we'll turn them off again for a second shot. And I'll take a wide shot and they'll all come on and I'll just kind of drift up to the top.
We'll see it all blend. Yeah. Okay.
No problem.
I know where Kim got this idea from. These are sailors. These are called telltales. Sailboats have these, and you can tell which when the wind's blowing on the sailboat.
Well, of course, for this column though, that's the manual.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yes.
When
But
the other ones
this
are on.
one here is good.
Okay, Kyle, do you want to turn on your camera?
Yes, it's good.
It's good. So turn that off.
And
What
this
I'm
color
gonna do
you'll
is I'm
pop
gonna
is
see
brown.
you turning it, I'm gonna see your finger turning that on. If I can get there. Just 1 second. Just a second.
Good stop.
Is it very blue?
No, no, not at all.
Now, just take your hand away and take your hand away from it completely and go ahead and turn it on. One more time. And take your hand away and go look at me and go for it. Orange button. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I see it. I see the switch board.
Okay, stand back there.
Around the corner. What's up?
Is that hitting you? Can you see that light? I've got to get my remote set up. All right,
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, that's good. I can see you through the fan cowl.
I got it. Stand by. And look down and turn it on.
That looked great.
Okay, and turn it off. Now I'm gonna go. I'm
See,
gonna
you're
come
clear,
along.
and then the fan speeds up and you sort of turn into a blur. That's
Oh,
good.
cool. Excellent.
Okay, what I'd like you to do is when you turn it on, pause for a few seconds, and then come around here, cross in front of me, and walk over there and turn the next one on.
And don't look at us. Just,
And that's the manual.
that's okay.
That's
don't,
okay.
don't actually turn it on. You'll just leave the frame, as we say.
Okay, stand by and
Hold
just
on
go
one
behind the
second.
box.
I,
Just go.
I know you don't want it to look messy, but I see the back ribbons.
Oh. And go ahead. Can you try that one more time? You want to leave the frame or you want to?
No, I thought that was fine. You didn't leave the frame, but what I'll do is I'll just do a cut. Just give me a moment, give me a cut point. To, as soon as it gets back there, cut to the spinning fan. Yeah, he disappears. He disappears, and now come over here. Let's just see that one turn on.
What is that? Is that a replay?
Yeah, can you replay for a couple? That one's on. You walk past, behind that, and then it cuts.
Oh, there's
As soon as you disappear behind that, now I'll plug it in, It'll start up, and you'll come out from behind it.
That works. Okay. That one is ready. We'll be ready to be plugged in.
Yeah, so you can plug it in now.
Not just the dial outlets.
I'm going to put the step up. You on this cord again? I'm putting this behind you up here.
Wait just a second, and when you get a chance, watch the monitor and put it on the public report.
I can't remember the monitor.
Okay, just put it on there.
It's way over there. I got it.
It's right underneath the orange.
Stand by, and go for it. Okay, one more time.
And with these fans, it's a power strip activates both. So I know how bad it wanted.
Can you come around this side? Just 1 second. And 3, 2, 1, action.
Yeah.
That's working. I like that.
Yeah.
Just a second, I gotta do the macro on this. That's here. And okay. We're doing good?
Yeah, great.
Okay. Now, stop for a second. Stop for a second because I'm gonna. I probably want to turn the other way. So, and so I'm gonna take a shot down here. Still stepping up there. Jeff,
Yeah, I can see you.
and you don't need to see me. Watch Kyle.
Okay.
And I'm going to be shooting up. I don't think I'll end
I
up
don't think
seeing
I
you.
can see his hand.
You can come around. I won't see you.
Oh, you don't see me there?
No, I'm going to be shooting straight up.
Oh, all right.
almost. I just want to make sure I am. Just give me a second. Kyle, can you use your left hand to do this?
Yes.
Okay. Stand by and actually come in from there. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, step back a little further. 3, 2, 1. Action. Let me do that one more time because the camera was a little shaky. Turn it off. It was just me. Just trying to make it a little steadier than that. Everybody else is perfect. Kyle, step back a little, please. Perfect. And 3, 2, 1, action. Okay.
Good. So now this goes away.
Yes.
And now we bring in
Actually, you've got that.
and now we have a pot of water, right?
Oh, put in the water. And action. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect. Coming off and reaching down, grabbing the flag ice, and I'm going to stay with you as you bring it over there, and you drop it in, and I'm going to go close and get a crackling, and then how soon before it actually starts, something starts lifting up?
Feels about 5 to 7 seconds.
So I'll follow that, and I'll follow that out to see how it builds. And I'll just stay with that for maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, see if it builds and everything. And so during that whole time, you just observe that.
And do you want these 3 column fans off right now?
No, it's okay.
It's fine, okay.
And so, and as far as Kyle goes, when it's running, we just have Kyle move around, so just try to get out.
My advice, because
Rosie,
my advice, because the tornado kind of breaks up with some disturbances, so the best way to film it is it's a little bit behind in this area. Okay, so right in this.
Okay, I'll get the crackling, and then as soon as it starts up, I'll back up and over here.
Right, so this would be like right, this is good. Because I'll be over here, or walking over there. Okay.
right. And once it's up and going, I may ask you some questions. And just look at me this time, and just like we're just talking. Wherever you are, I'll just
Anywhere
I'll just
around there,
Just make sure that.
Yeah, you're disturbed anywhere in this area, wherever you're from. I'll just stay back there. So I'll be back here. I'll just sort of haul around.
Well, you need to come around. It's just the beginning. I have to be tired. And I'll see.
Pull the lid off. Cut the lid off.
Do you want to pull the lid off first, or then, or as you bring the ice in?
What would you normally do?
I usually with my one hand and then I replace it.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Stand by. And 3, 2, 1, action.
We will be visualizing the tornado. is a 7.5-foot tall tornado. We have 4 columns each, and each one contains 3 inflow fans to provide inflow to go into the center circulation. And that is pulled up by what's called an updraft fan. That pulls up the circulation of air, and we get the 7.5-foot single vortex tornado.
Now, I'll just interrupt you, is that okay? We'll make sure we get everything. What did you put in the water?
What we have is dry ice to visualize the process reacting in boiling water.
What does that do? Why dry ice in water? What does that create?
Well, that simulates the condensation of moisture in the real-world environment. It is basically frozen CO2 reacting with very hot temperature boiling water, and that's why we get this very nice condensation reaction. Just like, as I said, in the real environment, we have condensation happening in the cloud above. As the small cloud lowers, it mixes with the debris near the ground and begins to
Now, you adjusted, as you explained to us before, and you also did some adjustment on the fan angles. Can you explain to us exactly once more why the inflows have to be at a specific angle?
There is an importance why I've done my experiments using variables of varying the degree angle. In the real world environment, the constrictions of the updraft influenced by differences in the degree angle and wind shear coming in from the outside of the storm goes in at different degree angles depending on the intensity of the environment, and that influences a tornado of different structures. It can be varied in its intensity of rotational wind speed, and that's why in my design of my tornado machine, I can actually simulate that myself by varying the degree angle at 30, 60, and 90 degrees with 3 measurements that I have done on experiments.
So, and there's a good term for that, I guess.
That is known as air.
Hold on a second. Just a second.
And as we go through this, that was perfect what we said so far. But as we keep going, just remember, don't do any formulas because the audience will be able to keep track of formulas. But so, what is it referred to as?
The special name for simulating this process is called air convergence. Tighter air convergence, a more smaller diameter tornado, but much more intense rotational wind speed, which makes it dangerous in the area near the bottom corner region. It's known as a tornado. But we also have done experiments with varying the inflow speeds from the first below to the third, from highest to lowest, from 14 kilometers per hour to 18 kilometers per hour, and seeing how that also affects the rotational wind speed in the tornado itself and the centers.
Can you summarize that? What you found?
I have discovered with the entire air convergence and of course the higher wind speed that I've allowed to change back here by these stores. I can change the wind speeds here. This. With higher inflow speeds, entire air convergence, we can get the most intense conditions for a tornado to form. And that allows me to simulate multiple vortices and apply a special formula called the swirl ratio.
That was fantastic.
We've done this before.
Several times. We may, I don't know, the trails kind of goes, flashes back and forth a bit near the end. That's what I
It's
did.
okay, I'll pick and choose the best
Just
stuff.
stay where you are for a second. I'm just going to take some shots.
What I can do is add a little bit of white water.
Just one second.
Sure. A little more boiling water would be more stuff.
Okay. Go ahead.
As well?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, be very careful.
I'm not going to worry about this.
No, we don't want to see that. It's just awesome.
Good?
Pretty cool.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just going to put my water in here.
We have lots of ice and lots of water. So. You need help, Tom?
Oh, this
It's
is
just going to be closing shot all the tornado going up there. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to put more in and then we good shot coming up. So what's going out?
We can also just add like a chunk of dry ice.
Yeah.
Now, can you give me an idea of how fast that's spinning compared to how fast a real tornado would spin? Is it the same?
Well, with using this instrument as a digital anemometer, these instruments were for my initial experiments were suspended from the updraft fan in order for me, myself, not being in this chamber to, as you can see, affect the tornado from disruption. So when I was standing back outside the system taking measurements, the wind speeds I clocked were about 40 kilometers per hour. So a pretty intense wind speed under these settings that we have right now.
How's that compared to a real tornado?
Real tornadoes, this garage would be completely destroyed, obviously. But I'm sure we would be all the way from here to downtown Chicago if this was a real high-speed tornado such as the EF4 to the EF5, which wind speeds in that category range from 200, 250 mile per hour to 300 mile per hour maximum wind speed inside a tornado.
This is in effect a scale model.
Yes, this is a good scale now of those wind speeds. But of course we do get some disturbances from outside the room, drafts that can affect certain fluctuations in the tornado that I consider as experimental error. But what's most important is simulating what's called multiple vortices by lowering the updraft speed at a lower speed setting while increasing the inflow of fans at higher speed levels. We naturally proceed processing this vortex breakdown. The largest core of the walls of the tornado and with that thin outer layer, we naturally receive multiple vortices.
So it's not that I don't want to hear about multiple vortices.
I'm just going to stop this.
I want to make the multiple vortices a bigger thing. So once we shoot this stuff, then we'll go back to you and say, all right, now here's the big thing. Multiple, make that into like a bigger deal rather than having sort of explain it at the end like that. Because I think that's a really, really interesting aspect of the experiment. So I want to highlight that a little bit. So that's why I sort of did keep going on it. Okay. Sure. So we're just going to keep going on just this regular stuff. The only thing I was wondering is, when you do the anemometer and the barometer, that's the other, those two things, right? Would you go, you were going to do those for the multiple?
Sure.
What would make more sense for you to explain that? Make more sense for you to explain it now, or when you're doing the simulation for multiple vortices?
I think because people are the multiple vortices is a good concept of this whole project, but I guess people are on the wow factors working at a single vortex house.
Yeah.
It goes up the whole thing. That I guess it would probably be best to see this was actually right next to
It is.
tornado.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to do a little bit more of this coverage, but Jim's going to do it from a higher angle.
Do we want to change water? Do we want to add water?
Probably add some more heights.
Yeah, so let's get this going again. And so the next thing, if you could, is that you're doing absolutely perfectly. It's really clear, and I think it's really, it's working perfectly. So now the next bit is just to talk a bit about monitoring the system. And then we'll talk about multiple vortices. And then the last thing I think is to talk about why you're doing it. What the intention is in terms of creating a model that can be used to forecast and predict storms. You have a better understanding of the same loss. So is that pretty much?
Okay.
So we have to sort of, it's like I said, like that's what I was explaining to you before. We were breaking down on everything, step by step, and then we get everything.
Well, just to now is take this a little bit down that track so I can
Sure.
have more mountains.
Be very careful.
This is really cold now, actually.
Cold. Like cold, like freezing cold, or?
Oh no, it's Not.
It's just not forming ice, right? It's like it's a sort of 60 degree.
And we don't have to throw off.
Yeah, so that's still being chunky. But do you need more boiling water, or are you okay for that?
Oh, you see, here we go. This is.
We need to boil more.
Just before you put that in, let us get set up, so once you do it, then we can really start with that.
You can put it nearby.
Yeah, there's steam. So
Still hot?
That's good. Okay, well, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be setting the conditions for multiple vortices, the ultimate investigation of this project.
That's pretty good.
Good.
Now the dry ice. You can see with the cloud that we do have multiple vortices. Very briefly, we have here the upper edge of the vortex splitting up in this area of the tornado, where we try to have multiple vortex action happening here. It is fighting against the updraft fan. We form a single vortex, but as we change the air direction, we create a more higher intense condition for a lower pressure. You just saw multiple vortices right here. It's just splitting. You notice in the top of the tornado, the splitting action is taking place. And you can see with the cloud, multiple vortices are taking place. The vortex breakdown is officially started.
Kyle, explain to me one more time what happens with multiple vortices. So you have your single funnel, and then what happens?
Well, in the natural environment, in comparison to my machine that I tried to simulate as best I can, we have the exceeding inflow speeds about over the updraft speed that is at a lower speed setting. In the real world environment, when we have the tangential velocity,
Say it again without tangential velocity. Try and say it with make some words.
when we have the velocity around the system exceeding the speed of the updraft, the high rotation of the cruise cell, we actually have a reduction of air pressure.